Welcome back. It's Andrew, your crypto guy on the internet, back at it again with some monthly price targets on a bunch of stuff. But let's review October real quick, because that was a wild ride, man. October had everything. So last month's video, I gave my price targets for Bitcoin. We hit all of those, and then some, reaching a new all-time high. The fourth quarter finale is right on schedule. And then what happened? Trump threatens China with some big tariffs, and that alone's not a huge deal. But then Binance decided to pull the liquidity from all sorts of little exchanges that are connected to Binance, including the one I was on. I was heavily deployed on LevX, and LevX was one of the many victims to Binance pulling the plug. So all of my positions were frozen and ignored. I mean, I had stop losses and take profits and some stink bids, and none of it mattered. So we had crazy dumps like this, and I even had stink bids down here. Like I was ready to catch anything. Didn't matter. All of my orders got ignored. All of my positions got flash liquidated. Longs or shorts. I was frozen out for 9 hours. And then, when LevX was back up and running, all my money was gone. And so I call up LevX, all upset. And to their credit, they're the only exchange that actually responds, a real person who goes, hey man, we're doing the best we can. LevX is just a middleman. They do a great job, but apparently Binance provides their liquidity, so they were screwed too. And they since were able to get me some of my money back. Flopping Groper, my little brother, he pitched in $3,000, and I was back on my feet. So then for the rest of the month, I got all my money back just by trading my ass off, and now I'm back to where I started. And that's better than a lot of people can say. So the outlook now is, hey, the fourth quarter finale was doing great, and then, something happened. And that's how it goes in this space. It just, there's nothing you can do. The charts can't predict political turmoil or straight up robberies from people like Binance. Until the United States provides margin trading for crypto for the little guy, we're forced to just trade on these foreign exchanges, many of which are backed by Binance, and Binance can just pull the rug and fuck you whenever they want because there's no legal recourse. There's nothing we can do. Now, some of these exchanges were fine because they're not connected to Binance. I heard Blowfin was good. Femex was fine. Breakout Prop, I heard, had a little bit of trouble, but they're okay. But LevX was the one I was on primarily, and they got rinsed hard, and I got taken down with them. But I'm still a fan of LevX. Like I said, they're a small team of people, and when you message them directly, either write to support, their email, or on Telegram, a real person responds, and they care. They try to help you. And like I said, they were able to get some of my money back. And I can't say the same for a lot of these other exchanges I've traded on, or in the past. I still like LevX. But now I'm more cautious with how deployed I am. I'm not going to put the whole stack out there with all kinds of positions and stuff. I'm just going to trade a smaller amount of money. Just in case Binance tries to pull some shit like that again, because they will. Okay, that being said, who was the hero in the altcoin space? Nobody else is coming close to ZCash. ZCash is the one coin that made me all the money this month. I mean, it's more money in just this than everything else combined. So when people are asking, where's the altcoin season? It's all in ZCash. The whole thing just went into ZCash. I don't know why. Maybe there's fear of digital ID, which is a legitimate fear, but ZCash is exploding. And I literally had to use a different chart, Kraken, which right now is undergoing maintenance, so there's no active price action on this one. But they have, I think, the whole history of ZCash, which goes all the way back to the good old days, like back when I first started doing crypto. And, I mean, the targets are ridiculous. Like, the next one is, 494? I don't know. Like, all of these other previous tops, we just blew right through them. And so now I'm just kind of longing and shorting this thing with not really much of a plan, because I'm looking at the typical strategies, like your VWAP retraces. You have the previous week is down here at What is this? 350, fat chance. You got another one. 307. The monthly retest is down here at 225. I mean, we're so far into space, and the money flow is so powerful here on the daily still. I don't know what slows this coin down. So, I'm just trading it, and the numbers are bigger and bigger and bigger. So ZCash is the most exciting story from October. We'll see if it continues into November, but just be cautious because this is getting crazy. And then Tao, TAO, also seeing a nice resurgence. Been making some money here. Your most recent retrace on this one, what would this be? Hang on. Let's go Monday the 27th. That is closer to like 450. Looking for a retrace there, perhaps. Your monthly retrace on the VWAP is down here around just under $400. So that's a huge gap compared to where we are now. So I wouldn't hold out for that one. It also looks really strong. Huge upswing on the daily. So Tau is also something to pay attention to, make some quick money on. The Yellow X strategy made me some easy money. I called this one out on Instagram. I'm only here once a month, but I'm on Instagram every day, where the Yellow X strategy was just too juicy here. So right here, I see, this is on the 5-minute, by the way. Usually I do this on the 1-minute, but every once in a while you see insane manipulation, just stacking Yellow X's. And if this is on some coin no one cares about, it doesn't matter, but virtual, it's not the next Ethereum or anything, but people still trade this. It has some horsepower, some interest. And so I go, hey, Instagram, this is looking like an absolute layup. And so I had my Yellow X final target up here at 142. I get in a long, low leverage just to see what happens around 124, 125. And wouldn't you know it, I go to bed, I wake up, boom, we cleared the whole thing. So I took that easy money. That was, what is this? About 13, 14% multiplied by, I was on 6x leverage. So that was a good winner. I left here. It then ran into its own VWAP. That was nice. I could have asked for a little more from this trade, but I just took the easy one. And then I stopped watching, and of course, that's when it absolutely exploded. It's going to the freaking moon. So virtual, good for you. The Yellow X strategy still works. Now, you don't want to use the Yellow X alone. You also have your VWAPs and your market cipher checking in here. That gives you added confluence. You could see this money flow was surging back upwards at the same time. I go, yeah, now's the time to get in. But that was a nice winner. So Yellow X strategy still in the toolbox. Fartcoin. Okay, so you have some Yellow X's that are uncleared on the 5-minute chart. Now, normally I like the 1-minute. That's generally easier to clean up. Do we have any on the 1? You got one like right there. Let's see if that one is cleared. By cleared, has the price returned to that number? And we've gotten close, but no. Okay, so the Yellow X trade here would go up to about 36.5 cents. Although I would like a better entry. Look at this. Yellow X, dump, cleared it back. See, the price came right back to that first Yellow X. This is what I'm talking about. Yellow X strategy still works. Now, are you getting greedy on higher time frames? On the 30-minute, you got an uncleared Yellow X all the way up here at 37. But I generally like to use the lower time frames with this because it's easier to clear. It clears faster. I don't want to be waiting for a month while we keep dumping, So if you're looking at Fartcoin, and you know what? It also lines up with your a previous weekly VWAP here, right around the same neighborhood, 36, 37 cents. Okay, you have other people saying, hey, we got a monthly retrace going all the way up here, which right now is at 45 cents. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know, maybe. I mean, you're in a, what is this, a falling channel? Hang on, let me see if I can give you some visuals here, if this is even accurate. Kind of like that. Okay, so the plan I have here isn't to break out of this and go to the moon. I'm going, yeah, just get me from here to here. Give me to 36. And I noticed this earlier. I got in about 33 cents. So I'm just trying to get to 35, 36. 9, 10% jump. And I'm on 5x leverage. 30-40% on your money real fast. It's pretty good. That's what I use this stuff for. Is I'm not going to be the guy who's posting those pictures of like, oh, I just closed 1,200% on this hero trade. I don't do that. I don't need to be anybody's hero. I just take my morning shit, I check the charts, and I look for easy ones. And I do 6 or 7 of these every day, and that's what pays my bills. So this is another example. Fartcoin, get me to 36 cents. Super easy. All right? Just, manage your risk. You'll be fine. And look for setups like that all over the place. Now, how's the Big Daddy Bitcoin? What's the plan here for this month? These charts are getting a little busy, I'll be honest. But we have some uncleared yellow X's. I've marked it on the 5-minute chart. So I draw an orange line. I put 5-minute on it so I know what chart that's on. So you got one at the easy targets are 112,300. And then you have 113,700. And then you have a gaggle of anchored VWAPs that are 114 to 115. Now, once you get to this part, about 115, things get a little sticky. See how you keep getting rejected there a few times? It's either support or rejection right there. So from where we are now, 110 up to 115, that's pretty easy for us to do this month. After that is where it gets interesting. So you have a 15-minute uncleared X. Look at this big dump. You're leaving some X's behind. That's on the 15-minute, 118,800. The last uncleared X I have on my chart. This is actually on the 1-minute, believe it or not. 121,300. Will that happen this month? I mean, if it's going to happen, it needs to happen this month, okay? Or the fourth quarter finale thesis was completely destroyed by this. Because look at that. It was working. The plan, everything was going according to plan, and then we got destroyed by China. So we'll see if we can recover, but so far it looks like we'll be all right. Those are your targets, all right? 112, 113 and a half, 118, 121, and if you keep going, great. Now, Jerome Powell, he just cut interest rates, and what happened? We got a little dumperoo, which is historically consistent. We got an 7% drop after he cut the rates because we're bullish into it, expecting it. He gives us what we expect, and everybody takes their profits, down 7%. Now, the one before that, when was that? September 17th, 18th? Yeah, this is exactly what happened. Okay. Similar thing. We lead up to the rate cut. He goes, oh, well, we've reviewed the data, and we're going to, reduce the federal funds rate by 25 basis points. And we take a 7 to 8% dump. Same exact thing happened this time. But will we get that big resurgence afterward? That's what I'm waiting for. I want to see, pow, get back up there again. And historically, that's generally how it goes, especially during our fourth quarter finale. So I'm still positive. I know people are jumping ship because they're new to this shit, but I think we'll be all right. And then, next year we get fucked with a major bear market because that's how the cycle works. Until I'm proven wrong with the cycle, I'm going to stick with that plan. Oh, and I wanted to comment on this. There are people that say the 4-year cycle is over and that it's actually like a 6-year cycle now or something because Bitcoin's price action is based on this chart, the ISM. You can call this the business cycle chart. And this is something that Raoul Pal is pushing. Because up until, the start of January 2023, which is almost 3 years ago now, up until that point, it seemed like there was a strong correlation between Bitcoin and the business cycle. I mean, it's not exactly right, but let's see here. Let's just line this up. So you have 2013, the ISM in September to December is on the way up, and it's kind of on the top of its range. All right. So 2013, final quarter, that was a 1,200% jump for Bitcoin. I'm not going to zoom that far in, but that's what it was. It was huge. Okay, cool. And then we had the next cycle peak for Bitcoin 4 years later, September to December 2017. The business cycle was plunging, but we're still on the higher end of the range. How did Bitcoin do? It went up 547% during that time. Okay, we're still kind of correlated. And then we have, what's this next one here? September of 2021 to December of 2021, the business cycle is falling. But again, it's kind of on the higher end. What happened to Bitcoin then? That was the cycle peak for 2021, and we got up to 69,000 or something. That was impressive back then. That was a new all-time high, up 73%. But then you have this problem, where starting in 2023, Bitcoin is completely different. They're not buddies anymore. So look at this. Ever since 2023, the business cycle has been flopping and groping at the lower end of the range, while Bitcoin instead has just been up and to the right that whole time. So where is this? January, we're down at 17,000. The business cycle looks about the same, but then we're up to new all-time highs, hitting 120 and shit, while the business cycle hasn't really done squat. And so this chart doesn't matter anymore. That's the only thing you can say with certainty. But instead, if you're holding on to that idea, that theory, that Bitcoin's cycle is attached to this, and it's just taking a break from being attached to this, then actually, when the business cycle surges back up to the top of its range, then freaking Bitcoin's going to be like $1 million a coin. I'll be up here somewhere. Okay, well, first you have to know, why did it disconnect, if it was connected at all? And then what would make it reconnect right when you want it to? So now we're in like extreme speculation at this point. I have nearly 3 years of evidence that this shit doesn't matter. So why will it suddenly matter again? And another thing, what do you mean business cycle? Nobody with any sense was interested in Bitcoin until, like 2021. And even then, they're still talking trash about it on TV. There's no business money, interest in Bitcoin. It was all goons on the internet like you and me. And yet, we're surging regardless. We don't care if the federal funds rate is going up or down. Bitcoin just does this thing anyhow. It's doing its own 4-year cycle, and we're still doing that. And people are trying to make sense of it, but the answer's already been given to you. So I don't think Raoul Paul is relevant anymore when he's using this theory of the business cycle. Prove me wrong, but if Bitcoin surges again when this goes up, it's because Bitcoin's just doing its own thing still. It's not because this matters. If you have 3 years where it doesn't matter, why would it suddenly matter again? So I'm still sticking with the 4-year cycle. You haven't proven otherwise. The only way to know that the 4-year cycle is no longer relevant is when it's already passed. So if we're still in a surging bull market in the middle of next year, then you can say, yeah, things are different. Because if we stick to the 4-year cycle like we always have, next year should be shitty. In fact, the best time to buy Bitcoin would be the middle of next year. It's down to 50K or something, and people are freaked out, right? But if we're up to 200, 250, 300 next year, then I'll have to check this chart again and see what's going on, because at that point, the 4-year cycle is also irrelevant, and we'll have to come up with some new theory as more time passes. So that's my spiel on the 4-year cycle. I say we're still in it until I'm proven wrong. If you're trying to trade altcoins, stick to where the action is. Okay, ZCash, insane on the daily, the weekly, every time frame. It's just printing money. Tau has also been strong. Virtual, I don't know why this just surged. Probably because I closed my trade. But Ethereum, where are your price targets here for Ethereum? Everybody's got a little of this. Where is this? All right, so your weekly retest is above us at 39.7. What is this? That's your monthly retest up to 4,100. Okay, so I'm looking for that, but we're at the bottom of this range here. We did sweep the low back here, but not this first low. We could go lower, but if Bitcoin is going up, Ethereum likes to act very similarly, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to at least get back to 41. I'm looking for 42, 43, but we do have an uncleared yellow X all the way up at 4,500. So if Bitcoin is clearing its top yellow X's, Ethereum should do the same. And Solana, Let's see. Yeah, very similar setup. You have uncleared yellow X's all the way up to 230, 240, 250, 260. Will that happen? I don't know. But you're in... What is this? Oh boy. Is this one of those triangle actions where you just kind of get trapped and then it falls to the downside? I don't know. It could be. This is just speculation at this point. We're starting a new month, and generally the big coins have their monthly retest to the upside. So this is for Solana, we're looking for $200. We're at 186. Okay, decent entry, but we're bottom of this range here. Not a bad idea. You have an uneven butt cheek here on the 4-hour. I could see getting into a little long and trying to get $200. Sure, for Solana, why not? But it's still a little early. We just started November. I'm looking forward to this month. Oh, and the moon indicator. Did that work out? Oh, we've had 2 losers in a row. So we're leading up to the bull moon. Everybody's happy. Bull moon happens. Doesn't matter. China and Trump blew that up. And then we got the bear moon. Who gives a shit? We went up instead. This indicator has one more chance with me. 3 strikes and you're out. So we have our new full moon. What is this, on the 5th, 6th or something of this month? I gotta ask a white girl. But it's coming up soon. I'll have to check. And we'll see if it marks a big surge. If it does, great. I'll still use the moon indicator as one more piece of confluence. But I can tell you, the last 2 moons didn't matter at all. Although, usually they help more than they don't help. That's why I'm giving it one more chance. Other than that, use Market Cipher. This stuff is too damn good. It's printing money if you can use it correctly. I love you guys. God bless you all, and I'll see you next time.